Hello and welcome to Virtual Storybrook. I've decided to do this video to give you a bit more insight of how the actual Virtual Storybrook works. Now, Virtual Storybrook is on a big massive server. It's about 4 massive sims, which is Storybrook. If you think of things on the lines of, say for example, Second Life, things like Second Life and things like that, but we're not actually on Second Life, you know what I mean? It's using the same sort of system that Second Life actually uses. But it's my own private server, and this server is actually going to be going live hopefully sometime next year, and it'll be open 24 hours a day. As you can see behind me here, this thing here behind me, just over the back of me here, is an information thing. Now when you first arrive here, here on the pathway, this is where you appear as your avatar. When you first arrive here, it will turn around and say, please give this place to rest, because it's got a lot of stuff to res. I mean, it's not just a little bit, it's a lot of stuff to res. So just wait here on the spot and give it a couple of minutes for everything reses in for you. And then resing, if you don't know what resing means, it basically means when graphics become sharper and you can see everything around you, then you can start moving. Otherwise than that, you're going to be stuck and you're going to be jogging along. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So if you look up Second Life on Wikipedia, that's basically what this system is based on, but except it's a private server, which belongs to me. So that just gives you an insight on what Second Life is actually all about. And over there, as you can see, I've got there's a open symbol business board there, but I'm not too sure if that's actually working at the moment because I've changed the sim so many times on different servers and stuff like that. It's probably out of date. So ignore that for now. The one behind it, the like button, if you do like this place, if you're visiting the place, please click the like there, just show that I have done a good job of this place and you're happy with what I've done. It just makes me feel better that I know you like it. And you can also send comments and stuff to me as well. As I said, on the actual virtual server of Storybrook, there's going to be 2 types of people. You're going to have guests and VIPs. Now, VIPs are the ones that are actually going to be getting quite a bit of stuff. If you come, it's first come, first serve. If you become a VIP, we haven't worked out the monthly fee yet, but it shouldn't be too expensive for you. We're thinking around about maybe £10–15 UK pounds per month, and that gives you access fully to the server, full access to the server, and also because you're VIP, you get access to a special selection of wardrobes. Now, the special selection of wardrobes I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Well, actually, no, I'll talk about it now. What we're going to be doing on some weeks or sometimes throughout the year, we're going to be doing a proper role play event, all to do with Storybrook, and that includes all the characters. Now, if you're VIP, you actually get to choose the character that you want to play. Of course, only naturally, we can't have thousands of Reginas running around and hundreds of Rumples running around. So what we do, we put them on a rota. So, for example, if we're running this system for the whole week, so maybe Monday and Tuesday you'll play Regina, and then you'll get a second option if you want to play something else, but you won't be playing Regina anymore that week. You'll play about once or twice, and that'll be your lot, and then you can move on to another character if you fancy that. But you're going to have access to a whole wardrobe of all the actual costumes from the actual show. Regina's costume, all the Regina's costumes, Ice Queen's costumes, Rumple, Belle, everything. All the costumes you see in the show, you're going to be having access to, only VIPs. And also, because you're a VIP, you also get to get a house. Yes, a house. Over in the urban area, which I've shown a few times, we're actually building actual full houses that you can actually live on the server. So instead of just like popping into the server and saying, hello, I'm here, you can actually live here in Storybrook. Just over the back of Mill's home or the back of Swan's place, that's the urban area. There's going to be a few like other places like the main office, the mayor's office and stuff like that. That's all going to be there as well. So that's in the urban area, and that's where also Regina's crypt is, or they call it their crypt, I think she goes under. That's also going to be there in the urban area, so you'll be able to chance maybe live over the back of Swan's place, whatever you want. But that's only for VIPs. Only VIPs have access to the houses. Okay. If you're a guest, however, if you're just a guest popping in, you can actually rent rooms. The rooms are very cheap. We're going to be renting them on a weekly basis. So, for example, if you want to, once again, first come, first serve, we get the hotel at the end of the road in main town, Storybrook. which we'll show you a bit later on. There's a hotel, which you also see in the show. Now, we're going to make that into a place where you can actually go. I think it's going to be about 20, 30, maybe 40 rooms in there. I don't know exactly how many, but they're just rooms. That's all they are, like a hotel room. That's exactly what they are. And you can rent those rooms out for the whole entire week, or just a couple of days, you know, up to you. And you have to pay in pay through PayPal and stuff like that, and then we'll give you access to those rooms. So you can have your own room for a couple of days, for the whole week. Even if you want to, you could on a permanent basis if you really want to, but it costs you much to become a VIP. Anyway, we're going to carry on our journey now. We're going to start heading towards town. So when you first arrive here, this is where you start. So you start here, and then we head this way. We are going to head down the road here now. We're actually going to exit straight down here. Now, as you can see, down the bottom of the road here, it just looks like a plain forest, but that's not what it is. As you walk further on down this way, you'll suddenly see the forest in front of that pathway, which you'll see behind me right here. You'll see it disappear. It will fade and disappear, and then you'll see the town line. So let's go and have a look at that now. Come on, let's go. So here we are at the town line. Now, as you can see the town line directly in front of me here. This is what you will see when you approach this area. That's the only time you see it, is when you approach it. The actual, as I said, the forest disappears, and then you see the town line. But because, you know, we're guests, we can then take a step over the town line and automatically put ourselves in Storybrook. Now we're in Storybrook. This is, I'm actually standing in Storybrook. Out of Storybrook? In Storybrook. So we're actually in Storybrook. So the town line's here as well. So you can do a bit of role playing if you want to as well. So you can sort of like have that thing where the characters, if they go through it, they can disintegrate and stuff like that. So you can have a play around with that. That's it, just role playing wise. But we've put everything in place for you to do the role playing. So we've got the town line, as you can well see. And we've also got the two signs of Storybrook as well, which is just further up the road here. We've got the entrance and your entering Storybrook, and your leaving Storybrook. They're the plaques they have. I mean, I think the leaving Storybrook one's been crashed into and it's been replaced about a couple of times, I think. Maybe once or twice, I can't remember. Let me know down below. So let's carry on our journey. Let's head up onto the pathway. So, here we are at the Storybrook sign. Once again, it's further on down the path, and as you head towards the back, you'll see another tree-lined forest in front of you. Now, as you approach this area here at the back of me, you will end up in Storybrook. Now, you don't actually end up directly in Storybrook. You end up, it teleports you. As soon as you walk down there, it will teleport you to the post inside the post office. You don't usually see inside the post office, but we've used the post office as like a starter point for your journey. I mean, this is one of the starter points, but so you can get into Storybrook. When you get to the post office, when you arrive at the post office, you will see information on the simulator, how we actually built the simulator by step using Google Maps and stuff like that. It's just like a breakdown of how we actually constructed the whole of Storybrook. And also, as you head towards the door, on your right hand side, on your right hand side, you'll see a little box on the wall. Now, on that wall, there's shortcut teleports to certain areas. We have got a convention centre here in Storybrook. Now, the convention centre is only going to be used when we have major events, and that includes, if you're a store owner and you sell merchandise and stuff like that, and you've got web pages and stuff like that, you can have a presence. Now, this is where we're doing this. It's totally new for us. You're going to be able to have a presence, have your own store set up within the convention centre, the virtual the convention centre, which will link to your actual web page where you sell all your stuff. So people can go there and see pictures of your stuff, which you can have on the wall, and then it'll give them direct links to your web page, which then they can then purchase those items from them. Of course, we will charge you for a vendor store, because it's like every convention, you have to pay for your plot. But it gives you more exposure, because Virtual Storybooks is going to be very popular. And also, upstairs in the convention centre, as well as the actual main hall, we've actually got a theatre. Now, the theatre itself is going to be brilliant, because what we're going to do on certain occasions, only if we can do it, once we get more VIPs, the more money we make, and the more money we can put back into the system, we are going to try and get guest appearance from the actual stars from the show. Whether it be virtual, via live broadcast into the auditorium, or if we're going to create their avatars, their proper avatars, and they can actually come on stage and you can do proper meet and greets with them, but virtually. How cool is that? So that's what we're going to be doing next year. There's a lot of things we're going to be doing, but that's just one of them. Anyway, getting on to what I was saying. So when you go out of the post office, it will lead you straight into Storybrook. When you come out of the post office, you are directly opposite the Storybrook Bank. And if you look over to your right when you come out of the actual post office, if you look down to your right, you will actually see the chairs, the two stalls that David and what's his face, little Henry. It's Henry, yeah. Henry? Is it Henry? Yeah, Henry. Such a while. Henry were actually fighting on top. They was actually doing like sword fighting on the actual thing. So you'll be able to go there and you can react that if you really want to as well. And there's a little park there as well, like in the original. But the next place we're going to go and visit next, which I love to bits, is the main hub. And of course that's Granny's. So let's go to Granny's, follow me. Yes, here we are outside Granny's Diner. Now, in the show itself, this actual restaurant in Steveston, it's actually a restaurant in Steveston called Canary Cafe. Now, in the original Canary Cafe, they haven't got what it's like inside. They have to actually film inside the studio when they do the inside scenes of the actual show. And the reason why this is because the Canary Cafe is totally different inside. So if you go and check out the Canary Cafe in Steveston, you'll see the actual what the inside looks like. It's nothing like what he actually does in Once Upon a Time. They just used it as the facade on the outside for sheer look. So they did it all up and put the sign up, the Granny's Diner sign up, move the Canary Cafe things out of the way, and then put these bits up. And they just dressed the set on the outside. Over the back here, you can just about, I think you can just about see it. Just this bit over here, there's actually a sheds over there in the original cafe where the actual on the Canary Cafe there's actual sheds there. So what we had to put an archway in this so that you could walk straight in, because you can't have sheds in the way, because if you look at the height of the thing behind me, it would cover the windows up. So what we had to do, we had to get rid of the sheds, and then we put like an archway that actually leads in there. You'll see what I mean when you get inside. You can actually see the windows and stuff. So without further ado, let's take a look inside here. We spent a lot of time on this, so I hope you enjoy it. So come have a look and see what it looks like inside. It's brilliant. This is the main hub, as you well know from the show. This is where everyone goes. They have chats here, they have drinks here, they have food here, they have like big massive scenes in here. This has been featured so many times in the show. As I said, this is an actual set that they use in the actual show. But because we had to create it in virtual reality, when you walk through the door from the outside, it actually does lead you into this space that we're in now, which is an almost exact replica of the original Canary Cafe, the original Once Upon a Time Cafe. As you can see, on the walls behind me here, they've got these little plaques going across the top there. Now we don't know what there's like supposed to be food, like food values and stuff in there, like displaying different food prices and stuff. We don't know all of them, so we just left them blank. But we know one, which is the lobster, which is on the other side of the room, which is down there, which you'll probably see in a minute. But we've sat down and we actually went right through it. We actually went through the actual entire episodes to get all the textures right down to the wallpaper, the way the style of the place is laid out, the chairs we built from scratch. Everything you see in here has actually been built by me. It's amazing to actually be able to be in here and to actually sit down and chat with your friends is brilliant. And it looks really nice at night time as well, because we do have day and night cycles in the simulator. It looks really nice at night time, all the lights come on and it's quite bright in here, and the outside's very dark. And you can walk through this door, in and out the door as much as you want. We took a long while doing this, as I said. Wow, that cake looks really nice. Anyway, let's carry on our little journey and let's go and have a look, shall we? Follow me. And as you can see, we've taken every detail, including the actual menus above me. Now the menus took a little while to get, especially the evening menu, because you hardly see that in any shot. The day menu, you see all the time in the show. But the actual evening menu, you never see in the show at all. So there's one episode, I think it was towards the end of one of the seasons, we just saw it, a fraction of it, but we didn't see it 100%. So that's why this menu up here is a little bit blurry. So don't go, oh, that's not resident in. It is resident, it's just blurry because it was so hard to snap, because it was a split second before they pulled the camera away and changed the scene and cut it elsewhere. But yeah, so here we are in Granny's Diner. The clock above me, or behind me, should I say, over the back there, that actually tells the real time of the simulator. So when you come in here, whatever time is in the UK, that's what that clock will say up there. It will tell you the exact time what it is in the UK. It's got a real second hand, first hand, and third hand. So it's authentic, it all works. And on a few occasions, as you well may remember, Swan has actually sat on that stool there. She's actually sat on that stool and had a drink from the drinks above at the back there. We've also got, of course, got the lovely Granny's sandwiches over the back there as well. And they're quite well detailed. If you ever come in here, do take a look at all the sandwiches we've got in the back there. They're actually got all like Granny's tuna and stuff like that. We actually sat down and worked so hard on all the different things in here, all the sandwiches, the wraps, the lot, to give it more authenticity. I can't say the word now. Authenticity, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. Authenticity, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So yeah, so this is the diner. It's a great place to come meet your friends. If you're a VIP or if you just visit in the place, you can come in here, you can sit down, have a good old chin wag, and if we do one of those cosplay days that I was telling you earlier on, we'll have characters in here, like VIP. One of our VIPs will be playing all the characters, whether it be a granny, whether it be a chef, whether it be some of the members of the cast, etc. You know what I mean? It'll all be happening in here, so you'll see lots of people walking around on these days that we do. Also, the detail behind the counter, you can actually go behind the counter as well. Well, let's go there in a minute. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Actually, no, let's go and have a look at it now. Why not? As you can see, we've left everything to authenticity, including the chairs which are actually behind me here. You can actually sit on all these chairs. So if you come in here, whether you're VIP or whether you're an actual guest, you can actually sit down with your friends in these chairs, and the booths over the back as well. So you know you've got a lot of things to do in here. As I said, there's a lot of interaction inside the bar. We've also got a jukebox, which you'll probably see very shortly in a minute. But for the time being, I want to go behind the counter. Let's go behind the counter. Follow me. So here we are behind the counter in Granny's Diner. We've got everything behind the counter, as you can well see. We've got all the fruit drinks and stuff that you can actually help yourself, well, not help yourself to, but if you're actually cosplaying and stuff like that in here, you can actually do that. We're going to have these fruit drinks here that you can actually put cups underneath, and it will produce drinks for you that you can give to avatars, or put it on the counter and they can pick it up. Also got cakes as well, as you can see over there. So the actual, when you do come in here, especially if it's not on a role play, only on role playing days you can't come behind the counter, because whoever's playing Gran will tell you to get out from behind the counter. But if you're on here when it's just a normal day and we're not doing any of the role-playing weeks, you can come in here and you can go and explore behind the whole entire counter, and you can check out all this beautiful stuff that we've actually got here. And we did take a lot of time actually getting it dead right. And some of the stuff were actually made by some people who might know. Some of the cakes and stuff were actually made by other people. But we had to go and get salts and everything and get it all in one place and put it into this cafe. So anyway, let's go and have a look at the chef's station, shall we? Come on. And once again, attention to detail. As you can see in the chef's station here, we've got all the food stuff here. We've actually got fryers and stuff. No, actually, come a bit closer. There we go. Fantastic. So as you can see better detail now. Now we're actually trying to get you zoomed in. We can see the shelves behind me here have got all the food, bread, even Pepsi, because I'm a big fan of Pepsi. This has not been sponsored, by the way, but I do like Pepsi. So I've got all these here, and of course we've got the cutting board directly here behind me here. So you could really role play in here. You've got a fish thing over there. You've actually got some fryers, deep fat fryers over in this corner here. So yeah, it's really good that you can actually role play in here. So if we're doing a role play day, like a role play week, where you can come in here and someone can play. So it's not an exciting job, but you get to hear all the gossip and you can talk to people when they come in. So yeah, so that's the good thing about being a chef. because you will be able to give food out. So if Granny will come up to you and go, can you give me a Philly steak or whatever, a cheese steak or a Philly cheese steak, which you can see on the thing over there outside, and then you can actually give that order to Granny, and then she can then take it over to the table just like they do in the real thing, or at the counter, whichever. But that is what we're doing it for. So you've got access to all these areas, and it's going to be brilliant. And I said, especially if you actually hear yourself, you can see all the detail we've put into everything we've got in the kitchen, everything. We've got cookers, we've got deep fat fryers, everything you would have in your kitchen. So there you go. Anyway, let's go back outside to see more of Storybrook. So that's Granny's diner for you. Now, as you know, we take a lot of time. We've taken a long time to actually build this actual place up, including the actual. We've actually got the pirate ship. As you can see, if you look down the road where I am here, look at the top of the road, you can actually see the top of the sails of Captain. What's his face is? I was going to say Captain Jack then. Captain Hook, I mean. Captain Hook, you get a bit confused with this. Captain Hook's pirate ship at the top there, and that's also where the resin zone is, where you can actually res all your stuff. If you across the road, across the road over there, you've got the Modern Fashions, which you can't actually see in the shot, but the Modern Fashions is over there, and in there you can actually pick up an avatar. And make yourself look good. Because when you first appear here, you're going to get a really crappy avatar. They're called newbie avatars and they're not very good. So if you want to get a really decent avatar, go to Modern Fashions for your first stop to get a really good avatar. Once you've got the avatar, take all the information you've got, like all the passes you've got given. It's a bit self-explanatory in there. It tells you how to actually do it all. And then you walk straight down the road to the actual where ship is, and then there's a resin zone. You'll see the big massive resin zone where you can actually res all your items. Make sure you clear up after you, because we don't want a messy Storybrook. So once you've rested your items, taken all the bits you need and put them on yourself, make sure you clear up after yourself. That'd be most grateful. Thank you. Because we know who the messy ones are. We do. We can tell. So anyway, further ado, let's carry on down the road towards Any Given Sundays. And I'll explain the reason why we've got Any Given Sundays here from season 4. So let's go and take a look, shall we? So here we are outside Any Given Sundays. Now, as I explained to you earlier, as I said just up the road there, the reason why we've got Any Given Sundays here is because we thought to ourselves, we love season 4 because we like Elsa, the ice queen, stuff like that. Brilliant storyline, brilliant, we loved it. So we was originally going to change this we're going to have like a box thing you can tick so you can change it. We still might do it yet, where you can change the set. So it can be the, I think it was a clothes shop in season 1. For a few, I think it's for a few seasons. It was an actual clothes shop, and then I think season 3 it turned into a vet or a pet shop, and then when it hit season 4, it turned to any given Sunday, and then I think 5 or 6 that changed again. It changed into a pamper parlour, like where you get massages and facials and nails done. So it's been a few things Any Given Sundays, and it is a really lovely. It's a really nice spot, and we've actually got Any Given Sundays in there. You can actually walk in there. You've got all the ice creams on display, so you could play the ice cream in there if we're doing like a role play week where you can come in here and role play. So that's going to be quite good in that sense. So I like that sort of idea. So Any Given Sundays, as I said, we sort of decided to keep it as Any Given Sundays because people have been arguing over it. So for the time being, it's staying in season 4, the whole simulator. But at a later date, maybe on role-playing date, we're going to be able to change the different seasons so we can change the look of Any Given Sundays. As I said, it's got everything inside of Any Given Sunday. It's got the ice cream parlour, it's got the seats, everything in there, what you see in the show. I won't go there today because it's got so much more to explore. This building behind me here, I've never actually seen the show. It's some sort of law firm. I don't think I've ever seen it. But let me know if it is. Let me know down below, or leave a message to me, and let me know if I don't remember seeing it in the show, inside of it anyway. But there we go. Anyway, let's carry on journey. Oh, the chop shop. That's another interesting place I want to show you. The chop shop, yes. The chop shop, indeed. Now this shop actually has only been featured in one episode as far as I can remember. Once again, let me know down below. This I think was, you've seen inside this once. And I think that's one, I can't remember what season it was in, but I remember actually seeing it once in the show. But otherwise, no, you don't see it, it's just there. I don't think this has changed, this shop. I think this has always been the chop shop. But I think, and in the actual, as you can see, there's no actual meat in the actual thing here, but I will be putting meat in there because it's supposed to be meat on display on the, in the actual window. We haven't actually got around to doing any of the meat stuff yet. We will get around to doing it. It's like everything. We do all the main stuff first and do all the little trinkets afterwards. So that's how we've always done things in Virtual Storybook. Anyway, next stop, let's carry on our journey and let's go visit the actual library. Onwards we go. So, here we are outside the actual library. Now this has been featured so many throughout the whole once a season. The clock tower's been featured, it's been smashed, it's fallen off of the roof, there's so many things. But the clock tower is iconic, as you want to know. The original clock tower, it doesn't exist in Steveston. It's all it is, I think it's up to where the, see where the top is, where just it says above, where it says library, just above there. Just up the top there, where it says just above library, I think you might be able to just about make it out. Where the library sign is, above there, I think there's just like a roof that goes up into like a pitch, like a, you know, like a thing. But they added the clock tower section and then a little bit on top of it for the actual show. So if you do go to Steve's, you go, oh, where's the clock gone? It doesn't exist. It was digitally put on to the actual building. Yeah, so in the library, we've actually got we've got all the counters in there, and we've also got the secret panel behind that mural of the tree, which you can click and it will open up, and you'll see the elevator in there, which actually can take you up to the clock tower or down to the caves down below. That is entirely up to you. Once again, it's all to do with role playing, but only VIPs will be able to explore that area because it's only really meant for Regina and people like that who know where it is. Any VIPs can go down there. Guess if you're with a VIP, they can take you down there, but you can't get down there anyway. It won't open up for normal guests, I'm afraid. This is the things you get. This is the perks you get with VIP. So that's basically it. And as you can see, if you look up the road as well, just up the road here, you can actually see Gold's. That's a fully immersive shop. You can actually go inside as well. And next to that you've got Dave's, and then next to that you've got I think it's a clothing shop, which we're going to put clothing in for you to change it. If it's just a normal guest avatar, you can change different clothing. We're going to give you a range of clothing you can change from the avatar. And I think further up along that is the Breedie's Hairdressers, which is also a real place, was a real place in Steveston at the time when season 4 was around. I don't know if it's still there, probably isn't. I can tell you what isn't there no more. Do you know where the flowers are? If you go straight down here, you know what I'm talking about. There's some flowers actually like against the wall, like a mural thing with flowers on it. They look like coming out of a pot, but they're flat against the wall. Where the lumber yard is. Well, that's been knocked down now in Steveston. That does not exist no more, which is a shame and it is a pity because it's an iconic location because you see it so many times in Once Upon a Time. It's now gone, unfortunately. But we've still got it here in Virtual Storybook, so you can still go and see it. And yeah, as I said, further up the road, we've actually got the hotel at the very top of the road here, which we're still constructing at the moment. And that's what I said earlier on. You can actually rent the actual hotel rooms out, like you would the normal hotel rooms. You can stay for a week, you can stay for a couple of days, depending how long you're staying for, it's depending how much you pay. It's all going to be done through like PayPal and things like that. So once we've got the money, we can then assign that room to you, and then you can come and go in that room as you please for the time that you've got it. When you do run out of time in that room, it will automatically eject you, saying that your time is up and it's going to be ready for the next person. Unless of course you extend it, which if you come in here a couple of days or a day or so before your original runs out, then you can re-top it back up again so that you can carry on renting that same room if you want to keep it that is, or you can move to another room, depending on what year. But as I said, there's going to be about 20 or so rooms in there that you can actually rent out. Of course, VIPs, as I said earlier on, VIPs have got the option, if they want to, they can actually go into the urban area where they can actually claim a whole house for themselves. But that's only for VIPs, unfortunately. So you can go and live next to the Swan, over the back of Regina if you want to. There's going to be a couple of houses around that area. Next time we're back in here, I'll show you that. But anyway, last stop, I think, for today, we're going to go and visit old Storybrook, the actual sign, the sign that it's been shown in every episode. You're all able to see it. It's right up the road from the actual rabbit hole, which is the bar that's downstairs. So let's go. Here we are at the Storybrook sign, which is one of the famous signs in the actual thing as well as the clock tower and Granny's. This is one of the actual signs that have always been here throughout the whole entire series. You always see it, the lovely Storybrook sign. I hope you've enjoyed our tour, and I hope you understand what we're trying to do here. As I said, hopefully next year we'll have this on a service, so it will be, we'll advertise it properly, so you can sign up and become a VIP, etc. So there'll be all the information on the page when we sort the page out. Once it all goes live, we'll let you know. But I hope you enjoyed our little thing, and I just wanted to share this with you because sometimes people look at it and go, Virtual Storybook, what's all that about? And now I've explained a little bit about Virtual Storybook. I hope to see you in here sometimes. I do come in here a few times to do some building. Places you need to look at to follow me, if I put them down the bottom here, you need to go to Facebook, to Virtual Storybrook. That's a page of mine. That will tell you information how to get into the server, etc. when we're actually live, and it also tells you if you become a link with that and notifications on that, it will tell you when the server's live, and it'll send you a notification saying, oh, by the way, Storybrook is going live, so that you can pop in if you want to. And it also tells you instructions on there. There's a video on there I put on there explaining how to set up the Firestall software if you're not too sure. I'll put that on there as well, so that's good for you. Also, check out, if you want a good view of this place, also check out my YouTube channel. Now, the YouTube channel gives you a great tour of this place. We also show you my virtual studio. That's quite a good little video, so check out my YouTube, which is down on the bottom of the screen now. Thank you. And, of course, you can also follow me on you can also follow me as a Twitter, on my Twitter account, if you want to actually be a part of the live video games when we do not do Storybook, but when we just do live video games. If you just want to chat with me, please do come join me. And the address for my Twitch TV is also down there. So, anyway, on that note, I think I've covered everything I can possibly think of. YouTube, Twitch, and of course I forgot. I've also got Twitch and Twitter. I've also got a Twitter account, which is also down there now, which is also tells you a bit about the Virtual Storybook and all the places we've built so far, including the EastEnders set, Back to the Future. But yeah, there's quite a few places we've actually built. And I just hope one day we'll see you in there, because it'd be lovely to see you guys popping in and seeing us. As I said, we don't mind you popping in when we're building. As I said, but when the server goes live, there'll be two accounts. There will be the VIP, and of course there'll be the guest account. So you'll have two separate accounts. As I said, the guests just can have a look around Storybrook, but they've got access. Their access is not full. They've got certain things they can't do and can't get. But if you become a VIP, you automatically get costumes and stuff. If you want to, when we do role-playing weekends, so that when people come in, you'll be playing the characters you like. We do that on a rota. More will be explained about that, as I said, when we do that. Oh, I think, did I cover it? I think I might have covered it, but I'm not too sure. Once again, I'll just go over it again. We've also got a conference centre here. I did cover it earlier on, but I'll let you know again. At the conference centre, you can actually rent stalls when we're actually running the conferences. And you can actually, there's like several units you can rent if you actually do merchandise for Once Upon a Time or fantasy things like that, or sell costumes or anything like that. Of course, you will have to pay for the units way there, but it gives people a direct link to your pages so they can go and buy stuff off of you. Also, on certain occasions, I said when the VIPs start coming in and we start raising more money for the server, we are going to be running like proper conventions where we can actually have some of the guests from Once Upon a Time, like Lana, and all the characters from Once Upon a Time. We're going to try and get them live into the server, But once again, that's further down the line. We'll have to wait and see how that opens, but we will do that if we can put it off. We will. I said the theatre, the conference centre, and the theatre are brilliant. I said once again, if you do come in here, do explore the whole of this. It's such a vast simulator, and there's loads of places you can go in. Some places are locked up, as I said, because you're only guests, but most places you can access, like grannies. You can access it's grannies, golds, and of course the hotels. Sometimes when we're not doing the role-playing week, you can access Regina's mansion, but when we're doing the role-playing week, you won't be able to, because whoever's playing the Regina that week won't let you enter her house unless you knock on the door, and then she might show you around, etc. That's only on the role-playing week, so you know, we'll see how it all goes, and I hope it'd be nice to see you guys to come along and join in the fun. Anyway, on that note, from Storybrook, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope you enjoyed our little trip and a little bit more explanation of what we're doing here. So take care. I'll see you soon. Maybe in Storybrook. Who knows?